The 7 Superfruit Squad to fight muscle, loss, and boost strength. After 60, hello, I'm Dr. Ryan Davis. Do you ever hesitate before climbing a flight of stairs? Or worry that you no longer have the strength to lift up your beloved grandchild? The fear of losing strength is a silent one that many of us experience, but I'm here to tell you, aging is inevitable, but losing your vitality is a choice. And the choice to grow stronger can be found in the familiar fruits we eat every day. Today I'm going to introduce a magnificent 7 Squad 7 fruits that are scientifically proven to help fight muscle loss and restore your resilience and independence, all without the need for pills or complicated routines. Make sure you watch until the end because the last fruit on this list hides a secret in its peel that could help you rebuild your strength. Now let's get started. 1. Pomegranate, the energy and circulation powerhouse. There's a feeling I believe many of us have experienced, the feeling of running out of battery midway through a task. You start a job, maybe it's gardening, going for a walk, or simply cleaning the house full of enthusiasm. But just a short while later, a deep fatigue sets in. It's not sleepiness, but a depletion of energy in the muscles themselves, forcing you to stop. Your internal battery just doesn't seem to hold a charge as long as it used to. This energy crisis often stems from 2 issues. The pipeline system for transporting fuel has become congested, and the energy-producing factories have grown old. And there is one fruit with a tough and humble exterior that acts as a master engineer, arriving to solve both of those problems at once. That is the pomegranate. Don't just see the deep red jewels of the pomegranate as a decoration. Think of them as concentrated beads of energy. The pomegranate's power comes from a clever dual strategy. First, it is an expert in improving blood circulation. Imagine your vascular system is an irrigation canal network for the field of your body. Over time, these canals can narrow, and the flow becomes weak, only strong enough to nourish the nearby areas, while more remote regions like the muscles in your legs gradually grow tired. The polyphenol compounds in pomegranates, when they enter the body, promote the production of a miraculous molecule called nitric oxide. This molecule acts like a crew of workers who specialize in widening canals, turning a feeble stream into a powerful river, rushing to carry precious oxygen and nutrients to every tiny muscle fiber. When your muscles are fully irrigated, they will have more endurance, less fatigue, and will recover faster. But widening the pipelines isn't enough. You also need to upgrade the factories. This is where the pomegranate's second ability comes into play, protecting the cellular power plants. Inside every one of our muscle cells are thousands of tiny factories called mitochondria, whose job is to convert food into energy. As we age, these factories are attacked by oxidative stress as if they are getting rusty, causing them to operate less efficiently. The incredibly strong antioxidants in pomegranates act as a professional maintenance crew, wiping away the rust, protecting these factories from damage, and helping them burn fuel more cleanly and produce more energy. I remember George, a 74-year-old retired mail carrier. His greatest joy was the small garden behind his house. But he shared that this joy was often cut short. After about 20 minutes of digging, I feel completely exhausted and have to go inside to rest, he said. My body just seems to run out of gas too quickly. I explained the story of the canals and the power plants to him and suggested he start a small habit: drink a small glass of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice each morning. He was skeptical at first, but a few weeks later he called me, his voice full of excitement. "Ryan, last week I gardened for a full hour without a break. I don't feel like my muscles are bigger, but they seem to work so much more efficiently." The pomegranate didn't just give him strength, it gave him back his time, returning to him the precious hours he could spend immersed in his passion. Enjoying a pomegranate is also a lesson in itself. You can drink the juice for convenience, but choose a 100% pure variety with no added sugar. or try eating the fresh pomegranate arils. They are a fantastic addition to yogurt, oatmeal, or salads. The patient act of separating each jewel from the white membrane also reminds us that true energy and vitality cannot be obtained in a hurry. It requires care and attention. Ultimately, the pomegranate teaches us about hidden potential. Just as its tough exterior conceals hundreds of sparkling jewels inside, sometimes the energy and vitality we're looking for are also hidden right inside of us, just waiting to be awakened and nourished correctly. 2. Tart cherry, the soothing and recovery partner. There's a feeling that many of us are probably all too familiar with. It's that feeling of stiffness in your legs in the morning before your feet even hit the floor, or the dull, lingering ache in your shoulders and back after an afternoon of gardening, a heaviness that lasts longer than it should. It's not an intense pain, but a persistent discomfort that erodes the joy of movement and makes us hesitate before the next day's activities. This discomfort comes from a smoldering fire inside the body, a state of low-grade chronic inflammation. And nature has gifted us a natural fire department packaged in a small, deep red fruit, the tart cherry. I need to clarify something. This isn't the sweet, plump cherry we often eat fresh in the summer. This is its tartar cousin, usually found as pure juice or in dried form. That very tartness is a sign of its rich content of powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called anthocyanins. Imagine chronic inflammation is like a pile of smoldering embers inside your joints and muscles. It doesn't erupt into a large blaze, but its constant low heat gradually damages tissues over time, causing that feeling of aching stiffness and weakening your strength. The anthocyanins in tart cherries act like a cool stream of water poured over those embers, extinguishing the fire and bringing a sense of relief. But what makes tart cherry truly special isn't just its ability to put out the fire, but also its ability to support the repair crew. Studies on athletes who push their bodies to the limit have shown that drinking tart cherry juice helps them reduce muscle soreness and recover significantly faster. If it can help a marathon runner recover, imagine what it can do for those of us who simply want to take a walk in the park without paying for it with an evening of aches and pains. I'm reminded of my neighbor Paul, who is 68. He used to complain that every morning he woke up feeling like he was walking on logs. That stiffness made it take a long time for him to start his day comfortably. After hearing me share this, he decided to try a small habit, drinking a glass of pure tart cherry juice after dinner. Just 2 weeks later, he sought me out with a radiant smile. "It's unbelievable, Ryan," he said. "I wake up and I can walk more freely. That heavy feeling has been reduced so much. It's as if I've given my body the time and the tools to heal itself at night." Paul's story touches upon the second and deepest secret of the tart cherry, its ability to support deep sleep. Tart cherry is one of the few natural food sources that contain melatonin, the hormone that regulates our sleep. Many older adults struggle with sleep, and we often don't realize that sleep isn't just rest. It is the most important work shift for the body's repair and regeneration crew. A deep, uninterrupted sleep is when muscles are restored, damaged tissues are healed, and energy is recharged. Drinking a little tart cherry juice in the evening doesn't just help you fall asleep more easily, it improves the quality of that sleep. You're not just drinking a fruit juice, you are giving the green light to your body's repair crew to begin their work. When buying, look for 100% pure juice with no added sugar to get the maximum benefit without unnecessary calories. If you don't like juice, you can also find dried tart cherries to sprinkle on oatmeal or even supplements in capsule form. Ultimately, the tart cherry teaches us an important lesson about recovery. Strength comes not only from what we do during the day, but also from how we allow our bodies to heal at night. Ending your day with this natural, soothing remedy is a meaningful act of self-care. It's how you invest in your comfort and energy for the next day so that each morning when you wake, you're ready to greet a new day with a body that feels light and a spirit that feels refreshed. 3. Apple, the muscle sculptor. There's an old proverb we all know by heart. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. We often think of it as general health advice. But what if that saying holds a much deeper and more specific truth, a secret directly related to our strength and resilience as we age? Today I want us to look at this familiar friend through a whole new lens. Because in a world of expensive functional foods, sometimes the most effective solution is right here in the crisp, sweet coolness of a simple apple. Think of the apple not just as a fruit, but as a talented sculptor for your muscles. To understand this, imagine your body is a clay sculpture. When we're young, the artist, our body constantly adds new clay, creating a strong and defined work of art. But as the years go by, the sculpture begins to endure the erosion of time. Small pieces of clay start to dry up and crumble away. That is the process of muscle loss, or sarcopenia. Our sculpture gradually loses its form and its solidity, and the magic of the apple. My friends, is not in the sweet flesh we love. It's in the very part that so many of us tend to peel away the skin. Inside that thin peel, scientists have discovered a miraculous compound called ursolic acid. This compound is the magical sculpting tool in the artist's hands. It performs an extraordinary dual task. On one hand, it acts as a protective varnish, coated on the sculpture, slowing the process of the clay drying and crumbling. In other words, it inhibits the breakdown of the muscle tissue you already have. On the other hand, and this is what's truly amazing, it also sends a signal to the artist urging him to work more enthusiastically, actively stimulating the addition of new clay. Ursolic acid has been shown to promote growth factors in the body, encouraging the building of new muscle fibers. It both protects the old and creates the new. A remarkably intelligent strategy. But the artist cannot work in darkness and fatigue. He needs energy and light. This is where another compound in the apple called quercetin comes into play. Quercetin acts as the manager of the mitochondria power plants in your cells. It helps these factories work more efficiently, create more energy, and fight fatigue. This means your muscles are not just stronger but also have more endurance, allowing you to stay active for longer periods. This story reminds me of David, a 79-year-old patient of mine who is still very sharp and agile. I asked him what his secret was. He laughed and said, "I don't have any grand secrets, doctor. It's just that since I was a boy, my mother made me eat one apple every day. And she always said, make sure you eat the peel." That habit has stayed with me for over 70 years. He didn't know about ursolic acid, but his body was benefiting from it every day. His simple habit, unconsciously, was a daily act of muscle sculpting and preservation. So the most important practical advice I want you to remember from this story is this: don't peel your apples. That's where the real power is stored. Try to choose organic apples if you can wash them thoroughly under running water and enjoy them in their entirety. The apple peel teaches us a profound philosophical lesson. Sometimes the greatest values, the most precious nutrients, aren't in the sweet, easily accessible center. They are in the outer layer, the protective peel, the very part we are sometimes tempted to discard. Just like in life, sometimes it's the challenges, the rough outer peels, that contain the lessons that make us the strongest and most resilient. 4. Avocado, the gentle protector. In our fruit army, there are powerful attackers and there are also wise diplomats. If the apple is a sculptor and the pomegranate is an energy engineer, then the avocado is a diplomat, a gentle protector. Its strength doesn't lie in making loud changes, but in its ability to create a peaceful environment, a safe zone where muscles can heal and grow without being disturbed. We often don't realize that one of the biggest enemies of our muscles as we age is internal irritation. That is chronic inflammation, a smoldering fire that constantly bothers our tissues, keeping them in a state of defense and tension. In such a noisy and chaotic environment, muscle repair and building are nearly impossible. And this is where the avocado diplomat steps in, carrying its most powerful negotiating tool, healthy anti-inflammatory fats. The monounsaturated fats in avocados act like a high-end moisturizing cream for your body's interior. Imagine applying a layer of cool cream to a sunburn. The burning sensation subsides. The irritation is reduced, and the healing process begins. The fats in avocados do the same thing for your muscles and joints. They soothe the fire of inflammation, telling the immune system it's okay, calm down, and create a quiet space for the cells to begin their work of regeneration. But to achieve true peace, we don't just need to put out the fire. We also need to restore order. This is where the avocado's second weapon comes into play, the golden mineral duo, potassium and magnesium. Here's an amazing fact: gram for gram, avocados contain more potassium and magnesium than bananas. These two minerals are the two conductors of muscle contraction and relaxation. Potassium helps transmit the contract signal, while magnesium brings the release signal. When the body is deficient in either one, this rhythm is shattered, causing the jarring notes that are cramps and stiffness. The avocado, by supplying both, helps reestablish harmony, ensuring your muscle orchestra plays a smooth and rhythmic piece. I'm reminded of Clara, a retired teacher. She wasn't dealing with severe muscle weakness, but she told me her body was always complaining. Her knees were a bit stiff, her back was a bit sore, and her calves would often cramp up at night. Her body didn't need a major surgery, it needed to be soothed. I suggested she add a small habit: eat half an avocado each day, sometimes in a salad, sometimes mashed on a slice of toast. A few weeks later, she returned, her smile brighter. She said, "The amazing thing isn't just that the cramps are gone, it's that my body feels like it complains less. I feel smoother when I move, as if someone had oiled my joints." The avocado's moisturizing cream had soothed the small but persistent irritations, giving her back a feeling of comfort in her own body. The wonderful thing about avocados is also their versatility. You can add them to a smoothie for creaminess, slice them into a salad, or simply eat one with a little salt and pepper. And don't worry about the fat. This is the good kind, the kind that's beneficial for your heart. Moreover, avocados contain almost no sugar, making them a perfect choice for those who are managing their blood sugar. Ultimately, the avocado teaches us a profound lesson about the power of nurturing. Sometimes to become stronger, we don't need to try harder and tense up. Sometimes we just need to be kind to ourselves to create a space that is peaceful and safe enough for the body to activate its own innate healing abilities. With every soft slice of avocado you enjoy, think of it as a comforting gesture, a promise that says, "I will protect you and soothe you." 5. Berries, especially blueberries, the bodyguards for your muscle cells. We often talk about building and repairing muscles, but what if I told you there's a strategy that's just as important: protecting them from invisible enemies? Every day at a cellular level, our muscles face a silent assault from free radicals, unstable molecules that cause a process called oxidative stress. Imagine this process is like rusting from the inside. It weakens the structure of muscle cells, depletes their energy, and accelerates the aging process. And to fight this erosion, we need an elite team of bodyguards. That team is packaged in tiny, dark-colored jewels, berries, especially blueberries. These tiny berries may look humble, but they are one of nature's most powerful protective forces. Their strength comes from their rich content of antioxidants, especially a group called anthocyanins, the very pigments that create their deep blue-purple color. These antioxidants act like diligent sentinels patrolling throughout the body. When they detect a free radical of vandal, they immediately neutralize it before it can cause damage. By putting out this oxidative fire, blueberries help protect the integrity of every muscle fiber, keeping them healthy, resilient, and functioning more efficiently. This means you will feel less fatigue, and your muscles will have a better ability to withstand the wear and tear of time. But the bodyguard role of blueberries doesn't stop at protecting the muscles. It also protects your communication system. One of the biggest worries as we get older is the loss of balance, which leads to the risk of falling. Balance doesn't just depend on the strength of our legs. It depends on a high speed and extremely precise dialogue between the brain, the nervous system, and the muscles. The compounds in blueberries have been shown to be able to cross the blood-brain barrier, helping to protect nerve cells and improve the communication between them. Simply put, they help clean the transmission lines, reducing static, allowing commands from the brain to be sent to the muscles more quickly and accurately. The result is better motor coordination, quicker reflexes, and a more stable, confident feeling with every step. I want to tell you about Samuel, a 76-year-old retired pilot. His entire life was defined by precision and control. The thing that bothered him most wasn't pain, but the feeling of losing certainty in his steps. He said, "I have to start looking down at the ground when I walk, Ryan. It's as if I don't fully trust my own feet anymore." We didn't do anything complicated. I simply suggested he add a cup of blueberries to his breakfast each day mixed with his yogurt. A few months later, he returned. The change wasn't a miracle. It was subtle. He shared last week while walking in the park, "I realized I was watching the birds in the trees. I wasn't staring at the pavement anymore. That feeling of connection between my thoughts and my steps seems to have returned." The blueberries helped him regain not just his balance, but his confidence. A wonderful thing is that you don't have to wait for the season to enjoy the power of blueberries. Studies have shown that frozen blueberries retain nearly all of their antioxidant content, sometimes even more. They are a perfect addition to smoothies, oatmeal, or simply as a cooling snack. Ultimately, blueberries teach us a lesson about protection from within. True strength isn't just what we can see in our muscles, but also the resilience of billions of silently working cells. Eating these berries is an act of nurturing that resilience. It's how you build a loyal army of bodyguards to help you fight the erosion of time, keeping your body healthy and your mind sharply connected. 6. Prunes, the potential activator. In the world of nutrition, there are shining stars, and there are also silent heroes. If the blueberry is an elite bodyguard, then the prune is a humble sage, someone we all think we know so well. We often know it as a friend to the digestive system, a piece of advice passed down from our mothers and grandmothers. And that is absolutely correct. But that is only the first chapter in the story of the prune. Today I want to tell you about the second chapter. A much more astonishing chapter 1 that could change the way we view the process of aging and the decline of our strength. Most of us accept the belief that as we age, the best we can hope for is to slow down the process of muscle loss. The idea of building new strength seems like an impossibility, but what if I told you that a humble fruit in your pantry could send a wake-up call to your body's dormant muscle-building potential? This is the secret of the prune. Scientists have found that the special polyphenols in prunes can do something extraordinary. They can send a signal to stimulate the body's production of the growth hormone, IGF-1. Imagine the muscle-building factory in your body. Over time, the hormone IGF-1 can get a little tired, a little sleepy. He gives fewer orders and the production line slows down. The polyphenols from prunes are not the bricks. They are like a motivational memo sent directly to the foreman's office. That memo says, "Sir, the potential is still there. Wake up and order the workers to start building again." This has a profound meaning. Prunes don't just protect what we have. They may be reawakening the potential to build new strength that we thought we had lost. But the story isn't over. To build a sturdy factory, you need a solid foundation. Prunes take care of that too. It is one of the best natural sources of the mineral boron. Think of boron as a professional structural engineer. Its role is to ensure that other foundation-building materials like calcium and magnesium are used by the body most effectively. It helps reinforce our skeletal frame, creating a perfect platform for muscles to grow strong. I'm reminded of my Aunt Helen. When I suggested she add prunes to her diet, she laughed and said, "Oh dear, isn't that just for old folks with digestive troubles?" She, like many others, had accepted that she was in a phase of managed decline. Despite her skepticism, she gave it a try, eating 5 prunes each morning. A month later, she called me, her voice not just cheerful, but full of surprise. She said, "This is so strange. Last week I was able to carry a bag of potting soil into the garden by myself, something I thought last month I'd never be able to do again." That small change shattered her belief in an inevitable decline. She said something to me that I truly love. "I guess this old factory was just dormant. It wasn't shut down for good." The prunes had sent Aunt Helen a wake-up call. Enjoying prunes is also very simple. You can eat them directly or chop them into oatmeal or yogurt. They have a natural sweetness, but thanks to their high fiber content, they have a low glycemic index, making them safe for most people in moderation. Ultimately, the prune itself is a wonderful metaphor for powerful aging. It is a fresh plum that has gone through time, that has endured pressure to concentrate the sweetest and most nourishing parts of itself inside, just like our lives. The outside may bear the marks of time, but that very process can concentrate our wisdom and inner strength. It reminds us to never assume that our potential is exhausted. Perhaps all we need is a sweet wake-up call. 7. Kiwi, the regeneration and absorption assistant. In our health journey, we often focus on input taking in protein, vitamins, and minerals. But there's an important question we rarely ask: is our body truly able to use everything we put into it? What if there was a powerful assistant that not only provides its own nutrients, but also helps your body make better use of all the other precious resources? That intelligent assistant is packaged inside the fuzzy brown skin of the kiwi fruit. The kiwi's power lies in a unique dual strategy. It both reinforces the frame and optimizes the supply of building materials for your muscles. First, let's talk about reinforcing the frame. Kiwi is an absolute champion of vitamin C with a higher content than even oranges. We often think of vitamin C as just an immunity booster, but its role is much more profound. It is an indispensable element in the production of collagen. Collagen is the glue, the cement that creates the resilience and strength of your entire connective tissue system, your tendons, ligaments, and cartilage. Imagine your muscles are powerful elastic bands. But to work well, they need to be attached to a solid frame. If that frame, your tendons and ligaments, is weak and loose, then no matter how strong your muscles are, they cannot exert their full power. By providing an abundant amount of vitamin C, kiwi helps ensure this support frame remains strong and resilient, creating a safe foundation for every movement. But this next part is the kiwi's most amazing and unique secret. It is a protein optimization specialist. Many of us, especially as we get older, may try to eat more protein-rich foods, but still feel that our bodies recover slowly. The reason may be that our digestive system is no longer breaking down and absorbing protein as efficiently as it used to. It's like having plenty of bricks protein at the construction site, but lacking the tools to separate them for the builders to use. Kiwi contains a natural enzyme called actinidin. This enzyme acts as a specialized tool helping your stomach break down protein from other foods, like meat, fish, eggs, and beans more effectively. This means that when you eat a kiwi after a meal, you are helping your body unlock and absorb more amino acids, the very smallest bricks, for repairing and regenerating worn-out muscle fibers. Kiwi doesn't just contribute on its own. It makes every other source of protein you eat more valuable. I want to tell you about Michael, a 70-year-old man who works out diligently. He was eating a high-protein diet and doing light resistance training, but he was feeling quite frustrated. "I'm doing everything by the book, Ryan," he said, "but my muscles recover very slowly, and I often feel bloated after my protein-rich meals. I suggested a small experiment after his main high-protein meal of the day: eat one kiwi for dessert. That's it. A few weeks later, he returned and shared a subtle but very meaningful change. The heavy feeling after meals has significantly decreased. But more importantly, I feel like my post-workout muscle soreness doesn't linger for as long as it used to. It's as if what I'm eating is finally getting to where it needs to go. The kiwi had become his logistics assistant, ensuring his precious supply of materials was processed and transported efficiently. Enjoying kiwi is also simple. You can cut it in half and use a spoon or peel and slice it into yogurt or fruit salad. A little tip is to try eating it after a protein-rich meal to take full advantage of the actinidin enzyme's abilities. Ultimately, the kiwi teaches us a profound lesson about efficiency and synergy. Strength comes not just from how much we take in, but from how well we utilize it. Kiwi reminds us that sometimes intelligent support is even more valuable than simple supplementation. Eating a kiwi is a wise act, a way for you to optimize the entire nourishment process, ensuring that all your efforts to care for your health yield the best possible results. Summary and advice from Dr. Ryan Davis. So we have walked together through a colorful garden of strength. We've seen that to fight muscle loss, we don't need a miracle, but rather a smart and sweet strategy straight from nature. Remember, this isn't just a list of fruits, it's a squad working in synergy. We have sculptors like the apple and activators like the prune to help build and unlock our muscle potential. We have energy engineers like the pomegranate and cellular bodyguards like the blueberry to help protect and energize the system. And we have soothers and assistants like the avocado tart, cherry, and kiwi to help reduce inflammation, aid recovery, and optimize all processes. The most important piece of advice I want to leave you with is not that you have to eat all 7 of these fruits every day. That is unnecessary. My advice is this: think of your plate as a canvas and paint it with the diverse colors from this squad throughout the week. Maybe today it's an apple. Tomorrow, a handful of blueberries in your yogurt. On the weekend, perhaps a glass of pomegranate juice. Variety and consistency are the keys. Every small choice you make isn't just about eating a piece of fruit. You are sending a powerful message to your body, a message of care, regeneration, and hope. You are actively writing the story of an independent, vibrant, and joyful life for yourself. Now I would love to hear the story from you. The power of change often begins with sharing and learning from one another. In the comments below, please share. Which fruit from this magnificent 7 squad is your favorite, and how do you plan to add it to your meals? Will you start your day with a kiwi, enjoy a crisp apple in the afternoon, or drink a glass of tart cherry juice before bed? Your small plan could be a huge source of inspiration for someone else in our community today. If you found this information helpful, please take a second to hit the like button. It really helps this video reach more people who need it. And don't hesitate to share this video with friends and family, because strength is multiplied when we are all healthy together. Of course, please subscribe to the Senior Care Wellness channel and turn on the notification bell so we can continue to walk together on this journey of living our golden years to the fullest and most meaningful extent. Thank you for your precious time. Remember, every small choice you make today is an investment in your independence for tomorrow. I'm Dr. Ryan Davis, wishing you steady steps and a life full of vitality.